Hi everybody, Corrie Sommers here again. Today I am outside at the Los Angeles Coliseum after an event that our real estate board in Beverly Hills had today. And I'm here with Mindy from My NHD, so we're going to interview you today.
Thank you.
Mindy, not everyone understands what an NHD report is and why it's important. I mean, sometimes I have buyers that ask me, well, what is this? And can you explain to us exactly what an NHD report is, why it's important?
Absolutely, thank you. The Natural Hazard Disclosure Report became mandatory 21 years ago. You have 2 flood, 2 fire, 2 earthquake, and it's because the buyer has to see what material fact is affecting the desirability and the value of the house. So it's mandatory on all transactions in the state of California. Nothing is exempt, and My NHD is in partnership with CAR on the zip forms so that when the buyer's agent goes to make an offer, they'll see us in the first drop-down box and click on it.
Now for buyers, because I've definitely had some buyers that have said, well, what does this mean? And I always defer them to you guys to go through this thoroughly, because sometimes, first of all, I'm not an expert in the reports. I wasn't trained in them. I don't have any sort of license. But tell a little bit about what the report covers.
Okay, so the state of California created a mandatory report. The statutory form has the 2 flood, 2 fire, and 2 earthquake on it. The buyer has 3 days from the day they get the report to pull out of the transaction or move forward because of material fact. So each agent is responsible for providing this report for their client. The listing agent gives it to the seller on behalf, the listing agent gives it to the buyer's agent on behalf of the seller within 7 days after the accepted offer. And then the buyer has those 3 days to move forward or pull out of the transaction. We have blue links all over our report to assist the buyer to click on them and gather all the information they need to move forward on the transaction.
Fantastic. Mindy, explain a little bit of when buyers are looking at this report. You know, we live in a highly dense area, Los Angeles. You know, there's always going to be, there was a convenience store or a laundromat or a gas station or a dry cleaners, and the report covers all these things, right? What are some of the things that maybe buyers should be a little concerned with? Is there certain levels, or is that something that they need to call and check on? How do they interpret the report?
That's a good question, actually. The requirement by law is just the NHD report for residential and commercial property. However, when you're the buyer's agent, it's always good to write in your offer environmental. Environmental reports are extra. We charge only $19.95, and it covers what's going on underneath the ground. So oil wells, gas stations, cleaners, any kind of material fact or man-made type of materials that are going on under the ground are revealed and disclosed more detailed. And then we provide these blue links all over the report so the buyer can click on them, releasing liability from you, the agent.
And it gives you, the buyer, more information.
Absolutely.
I always say this to my buyers: if you have any question, if there's something that seems complicated and you need a little help, call the NHD company, because they deal with this day in and day out. They're researching this information. They're more the expert in that particular arena, and so they're the great resource to walk you through and say, hey, if this level is this bad, should I be worried? They can really guide you in that. My job is to make sure you get this report so that you know what you're getting into. That's the key important part to keep you protected.
It is, and to choose a company that has insurance that protects everybody, which we do. And we're in partnership with Sierra and the zip forms, so we've been endorsed and approved by them as well. So we're here to protect you and keep you safe.
Absolutely. We're all working together for your benefit.
Yes. Thank you so much. It was really good.
So Mindy, what made you get involved in this arena, representing My NHD? I mean, why would someone get involved in this particular aspect of real estate?
Well, I have a degree in art, so it's completely opposite of anything in real estate. And I just happened to fall into it, actually. I had an opportunity to go into the selling side of NHD, and I realized immediately that people needed to be educated, and instead of just selling them a report, why should I buy a report since it's the only report that's not regulated and has a civil code, 1103.7, in the real estate industry? And I just thought it was really cool coming from East Coast, all these disclosures. Only California requires us by law.
Yeah.
No other state.
So
Crazy.
most of you out there know I'm licensed in 2 states. I've lived most of my life in California. I'm licensed here in California since 2004. But I also did a little jaunt back east in Massachusetts where I am licensed and have sold real estate.
We're both East Coast
Yeah.
girls.
And there's definitely some differences. There's
Yeah.
different disclosures, different requirements, but I think all of us that live here in California know that our state is very litigious, and anytime there's been any sort of lawsuit, whether it's frivolous or not, the first thing that the legislatures do is let's protect the public, which is all for your benefit.
Right.
But sometimes it does make this process very paperwork heavy, inundated, and part of my job is to make sure that we're getting all of those things taken care of.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Keep you safe and protected.
Exactly. So Mindy, we're going to make this a little bit fun today because
Okay.
you are always so much fun, and
Okay.
it's such a beautiful day out, everybody.
It is. It's gorgeous.
Amazing. It's taken a while for summer to come this year.
Yeah, sun's out.
Sun is out. So Mindy, here's like a great random question for you. What is the most random thing you've watched on Netflix?
I don't have Netflix.
How do you not have Netflix? Who doesn't have Netflix?
Me.
That's crazy.
I know. I wish I did. I don't.
So, Mindy's never watched Netflix. Somebody out there, if you want to introduce her to Netflix.
Sorry.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
No Netflix here. Tell me something. What do you like to do for fun? We're in an amazing place. You live in the South Bay, right?
Yeah.
So what do you like to do for fun? Whether you're up in Beverly Hills visiting us at the office or going over to the Valley for some clients, what do you like to do?
My favorite thing really is the ocean. I grew up in Maryland, 3 to 5 hours from the ocean one way, and I am just in love with seeing the sun go up, the sun go down, the waves. I love it. I didn't grow up with the desert, so I even love the desert.
Nice.
I love Joshua Tree. Oh my God, I went to Joshua Tree National Park on the full moon and went, oh God, it's like another planet.
It really is.
So desert and mountains, desert and ocean are great. I like the mountains, but I hate the cold, so it has to be like
So, yeah.
60 to 100 and I'm good.
Yeah.
So I would say the weather in Southern California, what we have to offer is phenomenal.
It is. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why so many people keep coming here. When I'm dealing with freeway traffic, I wish some of y'all would leave. But hey, I get why people are here. It's
Yeah.
great. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
So one last question for you, and I almost feel like we ran into this a little bit today.
Yeah.
What are some of your pet peeves?
My number one thing is when people do not communicate. We've got phones, we walk around all day long, texting, phoning, leaving voicemail, and yet people don't respond and acknowledge calls, texts, emails, and that makes me freaking nuts.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I actually had someone in our office that put a post up that said, I don't understand why agents don't return a phone call when I have an offer for them.
Oh my God, how sad is that,
Yeah.
right?
And
Yeah.
I think sometimes we're a victim, but I think at the same time too, maybe we've all gotten like a little spoiled in instant responses, because I get text messages all the time when I'm driving and I'm like, I can't respond right now. I
right?
need let
Yeah.
me get off. So Mindy, I just really wanted to thank you again for sitting with me
Thank
today
you
in
so
this
much.
gorgeous Southern California day to talk about
Thank
NHD
you.
reports
Thank
and
you,
your
Corrie.
business. So
Everybody needs to use Corrie for all your listings.
Absolutely. And again, I partner with great people such as you, and Mindy's information will be below. So even if you are not currently in the process of buying a home and you say, I don't remember getting an NHD report, or I bought my home 30 years ago, what has changed? You can always reach out to Mindy to get an NHD report,
Yeah.
and it's pretty affordable, correct?
Yeah, $74.95, cheap.
And really see what's going on with your property. And even, if you're not considering moving anytime, it's just good to be aware.
Thank you.
Thanks
so much for your time.
Until next time, guys. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe below and click the bell.
Click the bell.